First-time customers at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com receive $25 in wager bucks after your first initial purchase. All you have to do is sign up, make your purchase, and you'll get $25 in credit.
Welcome to Wager Talk Today. Right off the top, lead story, Teddy covers. How about those upsets? Chiefs finally lose a game. The Dolphins, dude. Outright slaughter of the San Francisco 49ers. And I just want to give a shout out to the Carolina Panthers. I know it wasn't an upset, but wow, they're in the chase. What's up with you, brother?
Well, it was most assuredly an upset. Atlanta was the favorite in that ballgame. Carolina came through and pretty much a wire-to-wire job in that one, Prez. I'm doing all right. I see you've gone with the peach motif again. That seems to be your go-to color.
I'm glad you noticed, bro. Clemson Tigers. Go Tigers. They have the best logo in all of sports. Flat out. Am I wrong?
All of sports? All of sports?
I can't think. It's a tiger, and it's their tiger print. Come on, how does it get better than what's better?
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I don't have one for you. So maybe it is the best logo in all of sports. Nonetheless, nice colors today, Prez.
Thanks, buddy. You look great. Guys, great show. Marco D'Angelo up first. Then Teddy and I are going to take apart week 5. What did we learn? And Ralph Michaels, dude, end of the show. You guys got to stay with us till the end. Not only does he have some incredible trends and angles, but he's got some proposition bets for all of you guys in the Monday night football game. So that's going to be an amazing segment. What's your big game breakdown?
Big game breakdown today. We're going to talk the Dodgers and the Braves, game 1 of the NLCS. Of course, we'll break down the Monday night football game with Marco tonight. And we'll also break down the other baseball game today with the Yankees and Astros in game 2.
Teddy, I went to
the Rays and Astros in game 2.
Yeah. I got to play on that game. 15-3 baseball run for me. It's $9 Mondays, everybody, at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. You get any handicapper you want, any play you want, any pick you want. For only $9. It's a great day. If you've never purchased from Wager Talk at all before in the past, this is the day. It's Monday. Every play is only $9. I'm in play on the Monday night football game. I'm in play in the baseball game on a 15-3 run. I went 4-2 yesterday, Teddy. How did you do?
I went 2-1. So... Actually, no, that's not true because I lost the bet. I had a first 5 in baseball that wasn't any good. So I went 2-2. In the NFL, I went 2-1 yesterday. The first 5 was 2 outs in the freaking 5th inning. It was what if you watch the game, you know how frustrated you were. Just as frustrated as I was with that one. But nonetheless, the NFL, I had 2 right and 1 wrong, and I'll take 2 out of 3 any week.
Yeah, dude, but your 5% play on Miami was outstanding. And I got to tell you something. I mean this. I'm not making this up. I did not do much handicapping on that Miami-San Fran game. I literally took your word for it, and I bet a lot of money on that. So a real shout-out to you, dude. I can't take any credit. I just tailed you.
I appreciate that. That's the goal of the 5%ers. And that's our job. As handicappers, when I put up a 5% for the play for sale, all right, it's not a marketing gimmick. It's a play that I think is legitimately strong. We don't have them every week. When they come around, sometimes I'll have 3 in a row, three straight. It just depends on how they come around, how you're seeing things. And I didn't think San Fran merited that price tag against Miami. And that turned out, obviously, to be a pretty easy one with the Dolphins.
Marco D'Angelo coming up any second. I just want to give a shout out to some highlights to some guys. Dwayne Bryant, Teddy, 3-0 college football Saturday, 3-0 NFL Sunday. Merrill, 3-0 college football Saturday. Ralph, 3-1 college football. And a monster shout out to Carmine Bianco. Came into Sunday on an 8-2 NFL run. 3-0 Sunday for Carmine in NFL. He's now on an 11-2 NFL run. And across all sports, because he does a lot of soccer and tennis, 7-1 NFL Sunday. It was an amazing weekend. Really, really good weekend. I just rode the Peloton for half an hour, so still coming down from it. What did you do this morning?
I do the same. Monday mornings are tight, man. My weekends tend to be pretty long days. Saturday's an 18-hour day, Sunday's an 18-hour day, or pretty close to it. You wake up Monday morning, you get ready for the Monday morning opening line report. You want to track the moves. First thing, I'm involved in tonight's Monday night football game. That playing write-up has to get posted. So I've been scrambling this morning. No Peloton for me. Lawrence.
I'm literally morning. I'm still rubbing my face from all the sweat. In Brian Watson, Davy Jones, Proud Babylonian, Jason C, Nate, how are you, my friend? James McGinnis, Roger Doria, I don't think I've seen your name, and the Dan Show, Mike Campbell, Ryan Budin. Can't thank you guys enough. Fred made a funny joke, dude. We're just waiting on Marco, so I'll tell you really quick. I went to a concert on Saturday night. It's a 7 series. It's a bunch of studio musicians, and they play classic albums live. They did Dark Side of the Moon, Supertramp, Crime of the Century. So they did the Beatles, Abbey Road. You're supposed to be able to take your chairs out of your car and sit. But now that Ontario, where I live, is totally shut down, so we had to stay in our cars. I tweeted out 100 cars here, the over and under for blowjobs going around, 37. Fred just asked me, did it go over or under? And my response was, well, I was on the underside. I went with friends. I had a couple in front of me, and we were in the back seats, so Prez did not get any action at that concert. Marco D'Angelo, how are you, my friend? We missed you. You're looking good like you, bro. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. Glad to be here. Sorry we had some technical difficulties, but we're here.
Hey, dude. Just gives Teddy and I a chance to talk more. Can't complain about that. Let's get straight into it, though. Shut up, Teddy. Chargers +7 versus the Saints. The total in this game is 50. No Michael Thomas, which I think is a big deal, Marco. He was the guy that really we saw such a huge difference offensively from the Saints with him in against Detroit versus the week prior. Break this game down for us.
Well, guys, the knee-jerk reaction is going to be everybody's going to look at the Chargers. They're going to look at last week and see that they had the Tampa Bay Bucks on the ropes last week and really probably should have came away with a win. But a couple costly turnovers, one right before the half, which really was questionable, got Tampa Bay back momentum, and Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does and led the Tampa Bay Bucks back to a 7-point victory. And you look at this Charger team, they're getting 7 tonight. Well, all 4 of their games this year have been decided by 7 points or less. So that's going to put everybody on looking at the Chargers. But I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, guys, as I like to do. And let's look at that Tampa Bay game last week. It was a horrible spot for Tampa Bay. They had a Thursday night guy. I look at things as far as scheduling dynamics. And for Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, that was a look-ahead spot. It would have been the first national spotlight game for Tom Brady with Tampa Bay and on a standalone game a Thursday night like that. And the Chargers are the Chargers with a rookie quarterback. My concern is you look at this offense and, they've scored. That was their highest. Their season output was 31 last week. But Tom Brady did have a pick 6 in that game that aided in that with the turnover situation. I like the Saints here coming back home. And I know their defense has been suspect at times, but prior to last week, the Chargers have scored 16, 20, and 16 points. and they haven't faced great defenses. Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Carolina, none of those defenses are going to put the fear in anybody. And actually, those defenses aren't good. So I think the Saints will be okay in containing Justin Herbert. Now, Herbert does get a break in playing a Monday night game in a dome where you won't have, a full crowd. That's a big advantage for him in his first national spotlight game like this, but it's still a Monday night audience, and I think he's going to have some rookie jitters. I like the Saints. Full disclosure, I gave this play to my clients, but what I gave them was yesterday a 2-team teaser. I have a live teaser going into tonight with the Saints. I hooked them up with the Rams yesterday as a 2-team teaser because I just don't see the Saints losing this game at home tonight, teasing them on a 6-point teaser. I got them down to 1, and that's where I'm at, in this game. I'm looking at taking the Saints. I still like them straight on the line, but a much better position having them on a teaser.
Marco, you and I do not see eye to eye on almost anything, especially football. But we did see eye to eye on co-founding WagerTalk, so that's a great thing.
That worked out pretty good.
Yeah, that it did, my brother. But anyway, long story short, I released a 2-team 6-point teaser yesterday. The Rams and the Saints. The odds of us being on the exact same teaser are like 1 in a million.
Incorrect, because you guys both use proper teaser strategy. And when you're using proper teaser strategy, where you're teasing games, the favorites from a touchdown or higher to below a field goal, and the dogs from below a field goal up to more than a touchdown, when you're using that strategy, you'll be surprised. Everybody ends up on the same teasers. All the sharp money is on the same team. So it's no shock that you guys end up on the same teaser there at all.
Hold on, Marco. Did you just hear Teddy imply that I'm sharp? Because I think he did.
That's the shock. That was the shock part, that you were on the sharp side.
Joe, please mute Teddy for the rest of the show, because I want to.
What I implied, Lawrence, what I implied was that you understand basic teaser strategy, which if you're hosting this show on a betting network, you better understand professional teaser strategy.
Marco, go ahead, Teddy.
Well, I was going to ask Marco about the injuries for this game, because both teams have an injury list that's a mile long. And in particular, the injuries that are most concerning to me, both teams are missing multiple starting offensive linemen. And New Orleans may be missing, half their starting secondary, maybe more tonight. What do you do? Because normally you say the starting secondary's out, you like the over. The starting offensive line's out, you like the under. What do you do in a situation where both units are banged up?
Well, in this case, I'm going to look at the quarterback situation. And when you talk about offensive line, that's key, more so than the injuries to the defensive backfield, because if the opposing quarterback doesn't have time to throw the football, he's not going to get those downfield passes. And we're talking about offensive line injuries. You talk about the Chargers having problems. You've got a rookie quarterback that's going to have some problems getting the ball downfield. So to me, in this instance, looking at the set of injuries here, I still feel more comfortable with the Saints. You've got, a veteran quarterback in Drew Brees that, can overcome losing some offensive players or have some problems on the line. They deal with this on a regular basis. When you put a rookie in that situation, it's uncharted water. And as I said, this is his first Monday night game. And I can't fault what, Herbert's done so far for the Chargers. In fact, they've gone ahead and named him as he's going to be the starter the rest of the season, barring injury. So they're happy with what they've seen so far. But the problem is when you go with a rookie, you're going to have growing pains. And this is one of those spots where I just, a mistake here or there, I don't think the Chargers will be able to overcome against a veteran team like the Saints.
He's Marco D'Angelo, co-founder of WagerTalk.com. A nice winning day for you yesterday, brother. Let's get into some baseball talk. Astros, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, last I looked before I went to bed last night, minus 130 with an 8 as the total. How are you going to take this game apart?
Well, you look at this game and you look at Tampa, and as far as the American League goes, Tampa was by far the best team from start to finish. They were the most consistent. Obviously, the Yankees, when they're healthy, is a different story, but the Yankees weren't healthy all year. Tampa Bay got the job done. Houston, you look at this team, and I'll be honest, so far in the playoffs, the first 2 rounds, they've been a thorn in my side because I can't get past what the regular season was. Now, we know it was only a 60-game season, but the truth be told, if Houston played in any other division in baseball other than the one that they played in, they would not have made the playoffs. The second place team automatically got in. They had a losing record, and they made the playoffs. So what do? They go and they sweep the Twins in the first round, keeping the Twins' losing streak in the postseason alive. And then they got an Oakland team that played well all year, and the pitching matchups just didn't work out for Oakland because they had to go the full distance in the first round to get past the White Sox. Now I look at this Tampa team, and the game you saw last night from Tampa, that is the way. That's Tampa baseball. That's the way they can beat you. And I don't know that Houston can win games 2-1 on a regular basis. The pitching matchup tonight, McCullers, this is a spot for him. His first postseason outing wasn't good. He went 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, only 4 were earned. 1 was unearned. But if you look at his season body of work, when he didn't pitch at home, he was not good. His ERA was 7.57, and he had a whip of 1.79. Couple stats for you. This is the day game today. Tampa played well in day games this year, 15-7. Tampa, when they come off a game like yesterday, a low-scoring game, if they've played a game where the combined total score was 4 runs or less, the last 2 seasons in their next game, they're 32-10. And as I said, that's Tampa baseball. Score just enough runs to get the win and have an outstanding pitching staff. And that pitching staff, when it goes to the bullpen, and you saw yesterday what they were able to do, they've got a huge edge over Houston, I feel, on the bullpen end of it. And here's a little stat on McCullers. In his career, when he pitches on the road, and it's a competitively priced game like we have today. And when I say competitively priced, that's where you're plus 125 to minus 125 is a team, and they would be in that range. Houston today, his team is just 3-20 in that situation. I'm all over Tampa today.
Good stuff, Marco. Can't thank you enough for joining us. Guys, check him out on Bet On It, our flagship football show. Him, Gianni, Kelly is the host. Probably the only reason anyone watches that show. And Gianni, he's really good. I don't even want you to say a word. Get out of here, Marco. We love you. And guys, make sure to get down on Marco's plays. He's on fire right now. Out. Commercial break, everyone.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Welcome back to Wager Talk Today, your sports central for bettors. And let's do a little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. Talk about what happened since our last show from a bookmaker perspective. College football Saturday, what did we see? The big story, I guess, overs in the SEC, overs in the ACC, overs in the Big 12, 12-4 to the over in the 16 conference games. Bama got tested, that crazy 4 overtime game in Texas, Oklahoma that did not work out in my favor. Notre Dame fails to cover his big chalk. LSU loses outright. Miami gets schooled by Clemson. Whatever, that was Saturday. Yesterday, Lakers and under took the money, but not too much. Lakers and under both cash. Not a disastrous result for the books by any stretch of the imagination, but not a great one either. Astros and under took the money. Rays and under got the win. Again, a fairly small result for the books. We talk about the NFL yesterday. Look, when it comes to bad beats, there was nothing egregious yesterday. Despite what that last play in Minnesota-Seattle could have been if it weren't for the bizarre, that was a fumble and the game is now over ruling. I had nightmares about the Vikings trying some shenanigans on that last play and Seattle running it back. Didn't happen, obviously. So from a bad beat standpoint, again, nothing egregious in yesterday's NFL action. When it comes to bad bets, I mean, let's see. The Falcons took game day money, pros and Joes. Niners took a little bit of money, too. It was a bad spot for the Rams. Washington took some money. And, yeah, there was actually some wise guy money on Joe Flacco yesterday before kickoff. Yeah. Wise guys sometimes fall in love with bad football teams. We saw that with the Browns a few years back, and I was shocked to see the money come in the Jets yesterday. Not my money. Bad for books. Look, it wasn't a great day for the house yesterday, not by any stretch of the imagination. We haven't had a huge weekend in the NFL for the books yet, where the books win all the big decisions. Wasn't the case yesterday. Bad for books. Let's see. The Vikings-Seahawks total got bet from 57.5 down to 54. Lands 53. The Vikings got bet from 7.5 to 6.5. They covered the spread. The Browns went from dogs to favorites. They won and covered. Impressive performance against Indy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. There was some sharp Raiders money that came in before kickoff. Wise guys won on that one. There was a lot of Steelers money that came in. You know, Claypool actually had a fifth touchdown called back on a truly phantom penalty. Steelers still got the money with Claypool's fourth touchdown of the game that counted. And, of course, the money came against the Dallas Cowboys, plus 9.5 down to plus 7.5. The Giants took the money, the Giants got the money, and the Cowboys lost their quarterback. We'll talk about that, too, a little bit later in the show. Back to you, Prez.
Teddy, great stuff. One of my favorite segments. So, guys, we normally take a break here, but we're not going to. We're going to go straight through. So, Teddy, it's what did we learn in the NFL Week 5? And I want to get right into it, brother. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's start right off the bat with the Miami-San Francisco game. Both sides are interesting to me. Is San Fran a sell team? I'm thinking, yeah, man, they can't get out of their way. And Miami, I can't make heads or tails. I mean, I've spoken to you about this many times. I can't play on them. I can't play against their inconsistency of their quarterback. He could throw 5 picks or 5 touchdowns on any given day. What do we do with these two teams?
Well, let's start with this. We normally take a break here. We don't take a break after bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. We either go to the NFL recap, or Teddy, we go to our next guest.
Teddy,
yeah, yes,
stop arguing with me. I normally say hi to everybody, give out a promo code, then we do take a break, and then we come back with the segment. I'm the host of the show. Follow along. San Fran and Miami. Buy, sell, neutral.
All right, so I had a big ticket play, a 5% play yesterday on the Miami Dolphins, and it wasn't so much a play on Miami as it was a fade of the 49ers. You asked what Miami can do. When Miami plays a bad defense, Miami can chuck the football around. That's their strength. Miami defensively has gotten better since the beginning of the season. It's a defense that they put a lot of money into in the offseason. They didn't have the preseason. Obviously, it's taken some time. But I don't know that I have a big buy sign on the Dolphins, but when you look at the NFL's bottom feeders, I mean, yesterday was a really easy day in the NFL to just fade the bad teams, you know? The Dolphins aren't one of those very bad teams. San Fran isn't either, but they're certainly not a good team right now. Their season has been ruined by injuries, and the markets, you know, with the price they were laying yesterday, hasn't caught up. But again, when you look at the look ahead between LA San Fran last week and LA San Fran this week, that's a 6.5 point line move. Okay. From the look ahead line to the line that's actually out there right now, the 49ers are clearly they're crashing in the betting markets right now, and deservedly so.
Teddy, I want to talk about that because that's such a great point, that look ahead in a 6.5 point move. And, you know, those are some of the things that you're looking for when trying to find true value. That's an overreaction of major proportion. and really gives you an opportunity. You guys, when you're making your bets on Sundays, always take a look at what the line was the week prior, because you don't want to overreact on one game. I mean, Kansas City lost yesterday, and they're still the best team in football. Go ahead, Teddy.
Yes, but you also don't want to underreact. And I see all kinds of your classic. I mean, I call them sharp squares, because they're guys that think they're sharp but are actually using the mentality of they're not there yet. And they say, "Oh, look at this great value. The line was +3 last week and it's -3 this week. There's 6 extra points." Yeah, there's 6 extra points there for a reason. All right. The 6, sometimes you say this is an overreaction to one game. Sometimes you say, wow, this team really stinks and the market's just figured it out. I can at -3 or -3.5, I can only take the Rams this week. San Fran was priced like 5 touchdowns too high last week. And they're not a good football team. The Rams are.
No. I'm with you 100%. And Ralph talks about this in his TNA segment. It's just all the information that you have to compile, and including the look ahead lines. That's just more information that you guys can use. Teddy, KC, Oakland. Oakland, let's start with them.
Stop with Oakland. That's another dollar. You used it twice. It's $2. They're not Oakland. Okay, they're the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes. Would you like me to donate that $2 to some food bank in Vegas for you?
At the end of the year, all the times we say San Diego for the Chargers or Oakland for the Raiders or whatever else we got, we'll make our donation. But there's $2. Throw it in the kitty.
Okay, $2. So anyway, Las Vegas, they looked so good yesterday. They were down at the beginning. They were poised. They stretched the field, opened up the running game. Their defense looked outstanding. This has to be a buy team moving forward.
Well, again, so you talk about too high or too low. Okay, the Raiders had won a couple games and they lost a couple games. And the quotes, we talked about them last week on the show. I know I talked about them in the opening line report on Monday morning with Drew Martin. That'll be on, of course, today. Again, after this show, 10:05 Pacific time, 1:05 on the East Coast. But we talked about the quotes that literally were – now I have the space in the game. What game were we talking about?
Las Vegas. We're going to charge you $10 for that.
Yeah, where Derek Carr was furious. It's like, I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of losing. And they were. The Raiders played a great game yesterday.
Yeah.
And what was the most impressive part of that game was not the offensive end, because the offense,
right?
It's going to be solid. It may not be spectacular, but the offense is not a bottom tier offense. They have weapons. They've got a quarterback. The offensive line is good. They should be able to score 20-plus points on a week-in, week-out basis. Defensively, the Raiders have been spotty at best and bad at worst, and on paper, it didn't look like there's a whole lot of chance for them to get a whole lot better. The defense played a great game yesterday against Kansas City, and if that defense can play at that level, the Raiders are live to do anything. But that's a big if. The Chiefs just had a rough game yesterday, and that was just one of those days for a team that had won, 13 straight games? Every team in the NFL eventually is going to lose. Kansas City found a way to lose yesterday.
He's Teddy Covers. I'm the Prez. You're watching Wager Talk Today, guys. It's $9 Monday at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. Any handicapper you want, $9. Make sure to check that out. And also, boys, 400 of you watching, 72 likes. Let's get it to 100. Teddy, define Carolina for us in just a few sentences.
Improving rapidly. I can do it in 2 words.
Wow, that's so. Is there a team you're looking to play on moving forward?
Of all the things that I did yesterday that made me really mad, not having Carolina in my pocket was probably the maddest. I should have had the Panthers in mind. And again, I had a winning day yesterday. I can't complain too much, but it was one of those weeks where I should have played every opinion I had. Carolina was one of them, and unfortunately, I didn't get to the window with it. That said, there's nothing fraudulent that we're seeing out of this Panthers team. The defense is still spotty. And again, they got the right team at the right time. Atlanta was dead as a doornail yesterday, but there's no question from a power rating standpoint, Carolina's been a one-way train for me. All they've done is gone up. I think every single week I've raised my power rating for the Panthers since week 1. And yesterday's win, impressive.
Teddy, I had a 5% play yesterday. You had Miami. I had Cleveland. We both won. I think I'm falling in love with this Cleveland team, dude. You're gonna have to likely talk me down. I'm looking to bet them again against Pittsburgh this week. +4. I haven't really delved into that game a lot, but that's my initial instinct. I think this team is deadly. I think they got a great running game, a great wide receiving core. Their defense is outstanding. Miles Jared, but my God, I mean, he's putting up Aaron Donald type numbers. Is this team for real, or should we just wait till next Monday after they played for Pittsburgh?
I'll say this. If you like the Browns, bet them right now against the Steelers. The +4.5s are disappearing. The +4s are disappearing. It's mostly 3.5s out there right now. So that is your opinion is one that's being shared by the broader betting markets. I'm still not in love with Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position. I'm just not. And I watched him yesterday. I watched that game closely yesterday. Yep. And the upside for the Browns is Super Bowl. Okay. That's a deep roster. It is a talented roster. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball. Their upside is that high. They'll go as far as Mayfield can take them. And at this stage, he's not in the top half of NFL quarterbacks, and that leaves them, leaves Cleveland with hot start, good team. They'll go as far as the QB can take them.
Teddy, let's talk Indy really quick. I've been telling everybody who will listen, Rivers is done. I don't think Indy is going anywhere. I mean, could they back themselves into the playoffs? Yeah, maybe. They got a good defense. But so long as Rivers is at the helm, this is a play against team for me, especially if favored by a bunch. And again, this coming week, I think they're favored by like 9 or something. So to me, they're a play against right now. Rivers is just awful.
Yeah, and the money's poured in on Cincinnati off the opener for that game for what it's worth. The 9s are gone. The 8s are disappearing. It's already down to 7.5. The Bengals have taken a lot of money off Cincy's, no-show yesterday in Baltimore. As for Phillip Rivers, again, this is not news. Okay, this is not breaking news. Phillip Rivers was not a good quarterback last year. He really wasn't that good a quarterback the year before. Yeah. And with Indy, I would say he's getting worse by the week. The older quarterbacks, they start taking hits. But there was some real vulnerability. And again, the Browns offense is good, but it's a Colts defense that was ranked number 1 in the NFL in large part because they had faced a truly weak slate of opposing offenses. Yesterday, they faced a real offense, and from a pass defense standpoint, Colts defense got torched. No, I'm not buying Indy right now. Not even a little bit. Neither are the markets, obviously, with the money pouring in on Cincinnati.
Teddy, couple more questions. Dallas, I wrote on my notes for Dallas, just oi. Is there anything you want to add?
The question is, how much do you adjust for Dak Prescott to Andy Dalton? And that is a legitimate question, and it's a difficult question. All right. I adjusted only 2 points between the two. Dalton came in
5.5. I think 5.5 because I think before he went out, they were -3 next week, and now they're +2.5. So
they were -3 and bet up to 3, but it's not a direct. Like this is what that injury mattered. Arizona had lost back-to-back games. They came through and had a dominant effort yesterday.
That's a good point.
Market support for the Cardinals. Yeah. Dallas, again, failed to cover a spread and again got torched, this time by a bad offense. The defense got lit up. And the markets are saying those adjustments need to be made. Again, my priority for Dallas was fairly low to begin with, so I didn't want to over-adjust downward. Prescott's been as good as any QB in the NFL this year in a lot of ways. Dalton is never going to be that guy. But sometimes you see when the QB gets hurt, everyone else steps up. We saw that from Dallas. I mean, Dallas clawed their way to victory yesterday. There's something to be said for a team that's willing to claw their way to tough wins.
Guys, you heard it here. You heard it now. Dallas is a bye team. For some strange reason, when something like this happens, this is going to galvanize the team, focus that defense. They're on my short list for this coming week. Couple of teams left to go. Ralph Michaels up after this, guys. TNA, plus he's got some proposition bets for tonight's football game. Teddy, the Rams, again, like Carolina, define them in a couple of sentences.
LA's pretty darn good. Yeah. Another team where they'll go as far as their QB will take them. Goff can have, he can play like the best quarterback in the NFL for 2 quarters, and he comes out in the third and he throws a terrible pick. You're like, what is wrong with that guy? But Rams are strong in the trenches, strong in the secondary, tons of weapons. Again, their upside is Super Bowl. And if Goff is consistently good, they can get there.
Well, I just want to shout out to Sean McVay. His play calling has been outstanding. Teddy, Minnesota up by 5 at the goal line. Kick to make 8, guarantee only going to overtime is the worst case scenario. They went for it. They get it. They win. They miss it. They still got about a 60% chance of winning. They went, they missed, they lost. Good call, bad call, and who are these Minnesota Vikings?
Of all the introductions you've ever given me for a game, that might have been the single worst. If you didn't watch, I would have no idea what you were talking about. None whatsoever. Well, the play, of course.
You did watch, and so did everybody else, because they showed it in highlights. I don't need you rating my opening. As far as a response to my opening goes, that was the single worst response to my bad opening I've ever heard. Now get on with it.
I appreciate that. So what are we talking about? The Vikings?
Yeah, I want to know about that call. I think it was the right call.
100% the right call. Anyone that thinks it was a wrong call doesn't understand modern football. But the metrics, the modern metrics show very clearly that if you go for it and you make the first down, you win. If you watch the play, the issue wasn't the play call. The guy should have run to the end zone for a touchdown. What he did was he missed his hole. And if you watch the replays, you'll see.
To the right.
Yeah, he ran in the middle instead of if you'd have found the gap to the right, he'd been in the end zone. And it was the right call. It was the wrong execution of that call, and it obviously cost Minnesota the game. No issues whatsoever with the call, especially with the Vikings plus the points in my pocket.
But Teddy, I mean, look, the Vikings looked so good yesterday, and especially on defense for most of that game. Is this a team that's going to get it together? Are they a bye team right now for you?
The Vikings defense looked good. They forced an incomplete pass in that game. What they did was they
go.
Yes, dude.
Just go. Just go.
What they did was they kept Seattle off the field. They kept the Seahawks offense off. And that's the game plan now. When you're facing an explosive quarterback, when you're facing a Patrick Mahomes or you're facing a Russell Wilson, the opposing team's game plan is grind out first downs, grind out long drives, keep that offense off the field, keep that offense getting in the rhythm. It worked for the Raiders yesterday, and it worked for the Vikings for most of the game. But unfortunately, their 2 miscues to open up the third quarter ended up being too much for them to overcome.
Guys, Teddy does an opening line report with Drew at 1 p.m. Eastern today. We already heard a little bit about what he talks about, as he mentioned with Cleveland. That line is moving. Bet it now. Anything else you want to quickly tell us, and then we'll go to a commercial break, and come back with your big game breakdown.
No, we're running out of time, so let's go to break, and let's get big game breakdown and Ralph Michaels, and we come back right here on WagerTalk Today.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
It's time for tonight's big game breakdown as the Dodgers and the Braves square off in game one of the NLCS. Currently, the Dodgers, they're short, minus 140, even minus 135 in some spots, total of 8 against Atlanta. We're seeing respect for the Braves, and we're seeing respect for Max Fried, who's been brilliant here throughout the regular season and in the postseason. In fact, the Braves have tossed shutouts in 4 of their first 5 playoff games. Fried, obviously an undisputed ace. He's a Cy Young candidate. He's been a monster this year, and that's why this line is as short as it is. All that said, this is a Dodgers team. They've won 8 consecutive NL West titles. The last 5 all under Dave Roberts. And Roberts asked, is this the best Dodgers team that he's seen since he's been here? Quote, it is. I don't disagree with that. When you watch this Dodgers team right now, the focus level is different. The addition of Mookie Betts has made them that much greater. From a series standpoint, I could only look at the LA side. From a game 1 standpoint, look, Buehler's not eating up innings right now. He's only lasted through the 6th once in 10 starts this year. 2 playoff starts, he has 8 innings and 6 walks. Fried, his first 8 starts, 2 runs or less in all of them. He scored 3 runs or more twice against him in the last 4, but he's been dynamite. But Buehler's not eating up innings. And, the Kenley Jansen thing worries me about LA. And I know they've got the rookie, what's his name, Gratterall on his nasty sinker. They have Joe Kelly. They have Blake Cannon. They have other options at the closer position. But it concerns me to lay a price with a team that has a starter that's not going to go deep and issues at the closer position. Series, I like the Dodgers, but I wouldn't bet them prior to game 1. I think the Braves are live tonight. Look at Atlanta to take a 1-0 series edge in this one. And the Braves will be live as home dogs. Or home dogs.
Covers, outstanding breakdown. Guys, make sure to hit that like button. Also, remember, it's a $9 Monday. I'm in play on both baseball games. I'm in play on the Monday night football game. Teddy, what's on tap for you?
I got to play on the Monday night game. I'm not involved in either baseball game.
I'm going to go take a peek at your play, Teddy, see if we're aligned. Should I let everyone know if we're aligned? I'm not going to let everyone know. Ralph Michaels coming up. Let's go, baby. Show us the pen. What do you got? Oh, it matches. It matches the shirt. Bicep pump.
Teddy,
ahead,
I'm just going to ignore Prez, Teddy, and come right to you. Big game breakdown of the Dodgers and Braves. So if I'm hearing your big game breakdown correctly, if you are rooting for the Dodgers tonight, perhaps first 5. If you're rooting for the Braves or want to bet the Braves full game?
I don't want the Dodgers tonight. I would only want the Braves tonight. I only want the Dodgers for the series, so I'm not looking to bet it prior to game 1 that I think Atlanta's going to win.
All right. I want to bring up something that will make our viewers better bettors. There's no question. So often people look at what happened for the weekend, don't think about it again, go right past it, and go into next week's games. On Friday's show, we talked about the totals and the over-under numbers increasing. Week 1, the average line 45.8. Week 2, 46.3. Week 3, 48.2. 49.5. This week's average total, 50.8. What happened? The over-unders went 5 and 7. We told you it was going to happen. We told you with an increase of 5 points from week 1 to week 5, the over-unders, Vegas would catch up with the over-under performances, and we'd start seeing more unders. Year to date, still 58.5%. Don't be fooled by that 58.5%. Most of those overs with a total of 47 or lower. Now we're seeing these high totals. Do beware, if you like these high numbers over, you're not going to hit the percentage you want. So just something I wanted to bring up that, Teddy, I know you do it, Prez, I know you do it, I do it all the time. To be a successful handicapper, you need to go through the games that you picked, find out why you won or why you lost, and make that adjustment in your mind and on paper, writing down notes moving forward. So learning from this week is as important as how much you won or how much you lost. Comments?
I couldn't agree more. And I used to call it a post-mortem. All right, where at the end of the night or at the beginning of the next morning, I went through every bet that I made. Did I get it the right number? My rationale for making the bet, was I spot on? And was I wrong? And if you do that on a daily/weekly basis, where you literally post-mortem every bet that you make, you can't help but notice ways to improve, leaks that you have, et cetera, et cetera. It's something I still do on a regular basis, but especially as a beginning bettor, I would do it every day or at minimum every week when it comes to football.
Absolutely. And situational play of the day. Hey, Prez, I don't have a player prop. I went to our player prop guru, Matt Joseph, and I stole one from him. I called him up this morning and I said, I need a situational play of the day. Matt says, no problem. I already fired away on this. For those that watch the presidential address, you know Matt and his success with these player props. And it's Alvin Kamara over 50.5 receiving yards tonight. Kamara on the season, 30 receptions, 35 targets, 321 yards the first 4 games. That obviously averages out to 80.25 yards per game. Michael Thomas still out. This is one that our player prop guru, Matt Joseph, already bet, and I'm sharing with you as our situational play of the day. Prez, this is where you insert presidential address plug.
Okay, guys, presidential address plug. Make sure to watch it Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Ralph Michaels, and Matt Joseph. And Ralph, I actually love that play. It makes a lot of sense. I've been watching all the Saints games, and Drew Brees is becoming a check down quarterback, especially with Michael Thomas out. I think we're going to see a ton from Kamara. And I'll tell you, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 8 to 9 receptions alone this game. And if that's the case, he's going to break a couple. That 50 seems to be a good bet. So thanks for that, brother. What else you got for us?
You know what? I'm just going to simply break down some Monday night numbers. Again, Monday night's sort of one of those situations where, Monday night home favorite. And how many people still remember the Saints coming back from Katrina and that Monday night performance? And does that carry
Aaron
over?
Brooks.
Well, I just wanted to break down the numbers. Since 2015, Monday night home teams, 43.4% against the spread. Monday night over-unders, 34 overs, 51 unders. So it's 60% to the under. That's every Monday night game since 2015. How about home favorites? Do home favorites have a bigger edge on Monday? 24, 32, and 4 against the spread, only 42.9%. So home favorites, less against the spread than home teams. Okay, how about Monday night home favorites of 3 or more? Those have gone 24, 29, and 4, 45% against the spread. The over-unders, when you have a home favorite of 3 or more, 41.5% to the over, 58.5 to the under. And Monday night home favorites of 6 or more. So you have a sizable home favorite. Those are just above the Mendoza line, 15, 13, and 2 ATS, 14, 15, and 1 over-under. And what have the Saints done as a home favorite? Going all the way back to 2013, the Saints as a home favorite on Monday night, only 2 and 4 ATS, 33%. They are 5 and 1 over-under, 83%. So if you have that mindset, Monday night home team revved up, national TV ready to go, 43.4% against the spread for Monday night home teams since 2015.
Sure, and the Monday night home favorite stands out to me. We talk about betting into a 43% sample size of the Monday night home chalk. Although, again, we're not talking an 80-20 trend. This one's got enough sample size behind it to be at least somewhat meaningful, and these Monday night home favorites haven't been all that good.
No, not at all.
Michaels,
And, it's – go ahead, Prez. Sorry.
Go ahead, buddy. I won't interrupt
I was
your
just
geniusness.
I was just going to bring up one more thing because it doesn't happen very often and we have an extra minute or two. So I tweeted this morning, and so if you want to see the games and the teams, since 1989, NFL favorites of 7 or more have won 81.2% of their games. So since 1989, How many times has an NFL team like the 49ers lost back-to-back games as a favorite of 7 or more? So quick guess, 5, 12, 82. It's 12. It's about once every 9 years a team loses back-to-back games as a 7-point favorite. The game after, they've gone 8-8 against the spread, so nothing to share there. But it is to the historic level that San Francisco has throwing in back-to-back clunkers as bad as they were.
Great stuff, Ralph. Can't thank you enough. You're with us every single day, Monday to Friday. I want to thank Marco D'Angelo. I always want to thank Joe for producing the show. Teddy for joining single day. I make him. I force him. I got dirty pictures of him for the internet if he doesn't come out. Also, a shout out to Kevin Dolan. Oh, shut up, Teddy. I'm just playing around. Tomorrow, Kevin Dolan will be on at the top of the show. We're going to take apart the boxing fight for Saturday, one of the biggest fight cards of the year. So, guys, if you want money, you got to check out tomorrow's show with Kevin Dolan, as well Dave Sherp and our bookmaker. Ralph, you're going to get into that database and give us some boxing stuff tomorrow?
That I can't help you with, so you're on your own. But, you know, what you do have to do is you have to have a Guinness open when you're listening to Kevin talk from Ireland. So it just wants to make you drink a Guinness as you're listening to him.
Okay, guys, thank you so much, everybody. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day. Terry, email me. Teddy, get the hell out of here. Ralph, you too. Teddy, take us home, baby.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games and good luck tonight. We'll be back again in 23 hours right here on WagerTalk Today.
First-time customers at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com receive $25 in WagerBucks after your first initial purchase. All you have to do is sign up, make your purchase, and you'll get $25 in credit.